Masechet Nedarim Daf Amud Aleph 74a1 says the Mishnah. Shomeret Yavam, a woman that she's going to be a Shomeret Yavam, which means that her husband passed away. Now remember here, right? We're still speaking about that it was with the Shutaput with the father still. Okay, but we're going to see in a minute. Okay, a Shomeret Yavam. It doesn't matter whether she fell in front of two brothers or one brother. That means her husband died. It doesn't matter whether their husband had another one brother or two brothers. And now she's Shomeret Yavam. Shomeret Yavam means that she has to wait to get married to this Yavam. Rabbi Eliezer says the affair. Rabbi Eliezer says the Yavam could do aparat nedarim. Rabbi Yoshua, which goes into the middle, he comes and he says, no. Liyavam echad, yes, avalo l'shnaim. Only if she fell in front of one brother, that means there's only one brother, can she do aparat nedarim, but not in front of two brothers. Rabbi Akiva goes on the other side of the spectrum, right? That's why it's a completely machloket, right? It's the three sides of the spectrum. Rabbi Akiva says, lo le'echad velo l'shnaim. Doesn't matter whether she fell in front of one or two. A Yavam cannot do for the Yivama until he actually does do the Yibum, obviously. Okay, because right now she's talking about she's a Shomeret Yavam. So now we're going to try to explain the concepts or the mindset of each rabbi. Amar Rabbi Eliezer says, Eliezer, it's a kavachomer. If a person comes and he acquires for himself a wife, how do you acquire a woman? Kiddushin. You did Kiddushin. You're allowed to do Afarat Nedarim. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you the woman, even without a Kiddushin. Why? Because the second that the husband died, automatically she goes now to the brother. There's no Kiddushin done. All he has to do is Nisuin. He just has to have relations with her, and he's already married to her. There's no Kiddushin. That means Mina Shamayim, they gave her over to this man. Enodin She'afar shouldn't be a Kavachomer. Then in this case also, he should be able to do a Afarat Nedarim. Amar lo Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva tells him, no, what are you talking about? When you come and you get married to a woman, the second that you got married to the woman, she's prohibited in the entire rest of the world. You went and you said to a woman, can she get married to anybody else? Can she go with anybody else? Wallo. Nothing. She's 100. I said permitted, so sorry. Prohibited. Yeah? He says, right? But he says, right, that you're going to say that by a woman that they were right, mina shamayim sheyesh la'acherim bareshut, that other people could have also, because for example, according to the Shita of Rabbi Eliezer, what did Rabbi Eliezer say? Whether she fell in front of one of the Yavams or two of the Yavams, when they put her mina shamayim into his plate, it's not only into his plate, the other brother could also get married to her. So therefore, ask Rabbi Akiva, what are you talking about? He says, when you come and you do a Kiddushin, that Maaseh prohibits her onto the entire rest of the world. But Shomeret Yavam, if there's another brother, she's not prohibited on the entire rest of the world. Right? What are you talking about? Okay?
In case the first one dies.
No, even without the first one dies, there's two brothers. There's two brothers. Rabbi Eliezer said that even if there's two brothers, he could still do Afarat Nedarim. Why? The other brother could get married to her. Well, why this one? Maybe the other one, right? That's going to be number one. Amar lo Rabbi Yoshua, says Rabbi Yoshua, Akiva, tevarecha b'shnei yavamin. So says Rabbi Yoshua, one second. Remember, Rabbi Yoshua was the middle one. That he said only if it was in front of one yavam, yes, you could do Afarat Nedarim. In front of two, no. Says Rabbi Yoshua to Rabbi Akiva, your svara only helps if there's two yavams. But like what I said only if it's going to be one, so then you don't have this problem. No. Yeah, so he says, "Tevarecha b'shnei yavamin." Mata meshiv al yavam echad. What are you going to answer on one yavam? Amar lo, he says, "Ena yavama gemura la yavam, keshem sharusa gemura leisha." The yavama is not 100% acquired to the yavam, just like the arusa is acquired to her husband, which means it's not the same level. Okay, we're going to explain. If you guys remember, we already spoke about this in Yevamot. What happens if a woman was waiting for Shomeret Yavam and then she got married to somebody else? She didn't wait for the Yavam. She went and she got married to somebody else. She was overet on a lav. Yes. She was overet on a lav. But technically speaking, I'm saying she's okay. Yes. So it's not the same thing like an arusa, like a woman. 100%. Arusa is an eshet ish legamre. There's nothing else what could do anything. Children are mamzerim. everything that you want. And it said here, Shomeret Yavam is not, she's Uveret on a love. She transgresses the negative commandment and everything. But, Kiddushin Tosim, it could be Rekiva L'Shitato, that on a love, Kiddushin is not Tosim. Okay, we could do a lot of Pilpul, but we'll continue after. So says the Gemara, Bishma Rabbi Akiva, I understand Rabbi Akiva Savar that he holds Enzika. What does that mean? The Kesher between a Yavam and Yivimto, right, is not, there's no strong Zika. And therefore, since there's no Zika, you remember we spoke about Zika and Yivamot, right? So therefore, since there's no Zika, that that connection between them, it doesn't form a Hafarat Nedarim. Rabbi Yoshua holds, yes, Zika. But what's the reasoning of Rabbi Eliezer? Meaning Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yoshua, we could make sense. We could say Rabbi Akiva holds en zika, Rabbi Yoshua holds yesh zika. So if you hold en zika, there's no connection still, and therefore you can't do a hafarat nedarim. That's Rabbi Akiva. According to Rabbi Yoshua, there is zika, therefore you could do a hafarat nedarim. That's Rabbi Yoshua, makes sense. What about Rabbi Eliezer? What's his reasoning? My tama, what's his reasoning? Yesh zika, if there is zika, embrera, right? What does that mean? If there is zika, but 1 second, but there's no breira. Breira means that after you do something, can you say that lemafrea, you already recognize what it was? That's called breira or embrera, right? Meaning, I've got two different piles. I'm going to come and I'm going to do this one. Can I say that lemafrea, yesh breira means lemafrea, this was good and this was not good? That's like kilo ani borer, ani brera. I'm saying, right? So therefore, the same thing. So therefore, if you're going to tell me yesh brera, so therefore she decided this husband, so therefore brera, he did hafarat nedarim, so therefore the other one was nothing. You understand? But embrera, so he comes and he says yes zika, and therefore it's very, very chazak. Nevertheless, embrera, and therefore we cannot say that to another, somebody else that's yibemota, right? It's going to be uvrara davar lemafrea, that was behemet from the beginning. Amar Rabbi Ami says Rabbi Ami. So how do we explain then next the shita of Rabbi Eliezer? You remember that we said, what was ma'amar?
Again.
No.
Nisuin, like nisuin.
Kiddushin. It was a kiddushin, but remember, baya yevama, you don't need kiddushin, right? You don't need kiddushin. But if you did do a kiddushin, it's called a ma'amar. So this ma'amar, right, that's what he did. Rabbi Eliezer Savarla, Rabbi Eliezer holds, Kebet Shammai, like Bet Shammai, the Amri that he holds, Ma'amar Kona Kinyan Gamur. That means according to him, Ma'amar, right, there was a machloket Bet Shammai Metilel, if you remember, he says, Rabbi Eliezer holds, like Bet Shammai, that Ma'amar is 100% a Kinyan. And therefore, it's like he did a Kiddushin to this Yivama. What? No, the Ketubah is always Hashem, the first husband. Not a Ketubah.
No, but here, like it would be.
No, but it's not a Ketubah. This is a Kinyan. Remember, Ketubah is nothing. It's a Kinyan. Kinyan meaning a Kavanah Kiddushin. Kiddushin is different. Remember, there's no ketubah by.
I know, but it's like it has the force of a.
Says the Gemara. Rabbi Yoshua Omer Lecha. Rabbi Yoshua is going to tell you. Hanim, when are these words? Bechad yavam only with one yavam. B'shnei yavamin. But if you're going to come and you're going to have two yavamin, no. He says, does there make sense now that the brother, right, he could come and prohibit her through biyah or get umefer? And still, the first Yavam could come and do Hafarat Nedarim? Obviously not. Meaning, you have two brothers. Yeah? One brother could come and give a get, or one brother could come and have relations with her, and then Gamarnu. Right? Remember, the get was the same thing, but really get does not really help. You need Chalitza. Right? But the get, you remember, the Ma'amar was like the Kiddushin that really doesn't help, but it does it. And the get is like the Chalitza, but again, each one, they did it. But now the thing is, does it make sense that one of the brothers could come and do Biyah, or he could give a get, and now the other brother could still do hafarat nedarim? It doesn't make sense. That's shitat Rabbi Yoshua. Rabbi Akiva savar and zikah. Rabbi Akiva just says there's no zikah. There's no zikah. It's everything's pashut. So says the Gemara, or Rabbi Lazar, according to Rabbi Lazar, that he says ma'amar according to Bet Shammai en kona ella lidchot betzara. That means according to him that when you do ma'amar, you don't actually acquire the yivamah. But only that it does is that it's going to push away the tzara, which means it's going to exempt the tzara with the zikah. Remember that there's a tzara means there was a co-wife. So if there was a co-wife and now you went to one of the wives, there's two wives, right? That's what is a co-wife. Right? You went to one of those wives and now you went and you did ma'amar to one of them. So automatically you exempted the co-wife from anything. So Michael, what are you going to say then? So answers the Gemara, what are we dealing with? You already went, one of the two Yevamim, you went to the Beddin. Yeah, and what happened was is that he went to the bedin, and then he was obligated to pay her mezonot. And like Rav Pinchas Mishpeh Rabba, Amar Kol Anoderet Al Da Bala Inoderet. So basically, what happened is that he was mitchayev to give mezonot to the Yavamah. So Rabbi Eliezer says that this Yavam could now do Hafarat Nedarim. Why? Because the fact that now he has to give mezonot, it's like he's the husband, because he has to give her to eat now. That means they took him to Bedin. He has to now come and he has to give her to eat. So now it's like he's the husband. So therefore, right, he would be able to have the key of doing Hafarat Nedarim. Ayin Dalad Mubet 74b. Tanan. Okay, so then 1 second. But now we're going to ask on this. We learned in the Mishnah, Rabbi Eliezer, says Rabbi Eliezer, Umay Misha shekana le'atzmo hareu mefer nedareha, Isha shiknu lo min hashamayim enodin shemefer nedareha. What was the kal v'chomer? The kal v'chomer was, if you acquire for yourself a woman, you can do Hafarat Nedarim, meaning you did Kiddushin, you could do Hafarat Nedarim to her. Kal v'chomer, if they gave it to you min hashamayim, you could do Hafarat Nedarim. Says the Gemara, Ibe she'asa ba'ma'amar, if he did ma'amar, kana le'atzmahu, so it's not min hashamayim yiknu lo. Hu kana le'atzmo. What's the difference? So answers the Gemara, no. Kana le'atzmo al-yedei, right, min hashamayim, al-yedei shamayim. What does that mean? He was kana to himself through the shamayim, meaning through the shamayim, they gave him a zikah. Not that he chose it. When you do kiddushin, you choose who the woman is. You see a woman in the street, you come and you say, okay, fine, I'm going to choose her. And you say, Adam mekudesh li b'tabat zo, kedat Moshe v'Yisrael. She accepts, and that's it. Right? And forever hold your peace. Yeah? So that's the concept of kiddushin. By Ma'amar, there was already a zikah, and that zikah came through Min HaShamayim. So Tifshot by Rabba, so we want to come and we want to bring a proof, right? We wanted to actually make it simple from that which Rabba added a question. Ma'amar according to Bet Shammai, Yerusin oseh or Nisuin oseh? According to Bet Shammai. Yeah, one more time. According to Bet Shammai. When there is Ma'amar, what is the Ma'amar? Is the Ma'amar Irusin or Nisuin? One more time, right? Remember that here we're talking about she's a Shomeret Yavam. She's a Yavamah, right? So therefore she's waiting for the Yavam. So now when he does the Ma'amar to her, what is that Ma'amar considered? Is it considered Kiddushin or Nisuin? Irusin or Nisuin? You remember that? So Tifshot, the Nisuin ose, I want to say that it's Nisuin. Why? The Irusin ose, because if you're going to tell me now that it's Irusin, Hatnan, we already learned in a Mishnah. When it's going to be a Na'ara me'orasa, the father and the husband could do a Hafarat Nedarim mishutafut. Now, since he went and he said that she could do a Hafarat Nedarim by himself, so it's mashma that it's Nisuin. Right? The truth is, you could be doche this in 1 second. You could just say that she was already 100% married. But it doesn't matter. Amar Rav Nachman Yitzchak says Rav Nachman Yitzchak, Ma yafer. What does it mean yafer? Yafer b'shutafut. No, I could push it off another way. When it says yafer, it just means that he could do a Hafarat Nedarim with the father. And therefore, it's not a proof, right, that it's Nisuin. So that means we still do not have an answer. What is Ma'amar? Is Ma'amar Irusin or Nisuin? We don't have an answer. Okay? Yes. We also learned in a Raita, like Rabbi Ami, Shomeret Yavam, Ben Yavam Echad Ben Nishim, whether it's going to be to one Yavam or a few Yavamim. Rabbi Eliezer says Yafer. Rabbi Yoshua Omer Lo Echad yes, L'Shnaim no. Rabbi Kiva says Lo Echad v'lo right Lo Le'echad v'lo L'Shnaim. Amar Rabbi Eliezer says Rabbi Eliezer Uma im isha she'eno chelek ba'ad she'lo tavo lishto mishebat lishuto nigmera lo. Right? If you're going to tell me that a woman that he had no chelek in the woman and only now, right, through erusin, once she's becoming a arusa to him, now it's a kinyan gamun, and now he could do a Hafarat Nedarim with a husband, with a father. Isha sheyesh lo chelek ad shelo tavo lishto, a woman which is yivimto, that she does have a chelek to him because she's zakuk. There's a zikat to him, right? Mishebat lishuto, obviously it's going to come through mamar. Enodin shetigmolo, for sure he should be able to. Amar lo Rabbi Kiva says Rabbi Kiva lo. Imamarta b'isha shekano letzmo, the woman you acquired it to yourself. Shekshem she'eno chelek ba, just like nobody else has a chelek ba. So too, Achirim also don't have a chelek them. Tomar b'isha sheiknu mishamayim, but by the woman that comes from mishamayim, sheyesh la chelekim ba. There is other people. Kach yesh achirim chelek ba. There's also achirim that have a chelek ba. Meaning again, this is basically a chazara. What we just said before, there's a proof that exactly the reasoning that we brought down before. That according to the Shita of Rabbi Akiva, he comes and he says, "What are you talking about? When you're talking about a case of a yevama, other people do have a reshut ba. There's another yavam as well." Amar lo Rabbi Yoshua says, Rabbi Yoshua Akiva devarecha b'shnei yavimim. The words are only if there's two yavimim. Ma'ata meshiv al yavam echad. What happens if we're going to do? Amar lo, he tells them klum chilatnu yavam echad ve'al shnei yavamim ben shasam amar meshiv. We never made any differences between one yavam, two yavams. He did a ma'amar, didn't do a ma'amar. So because of that, v'kishiyar dvarim ken nedarim. So just like the siba is is that just like by other things of the Yevamah, even if he does do a ma'amar, she's still not considered not arusa, right? So too the same thing. So too he said, so therefore he went, Ben Azai went and he said about himself, that you didn't do enough shimush by Rabbi Akiva. Right? Why? Because of, what does that mean? He comes and he says,
why he
right?
didn't learn.
Now, why he didn't? I mean, he didn't learn enough by Rabbi Akiva, but Rabbi Akiva came and he asked him a beautiful question. He went and he said, we didn't make any differences between one yavam, two yavams, between the, meaning the Mishnah says one halacha. It's the same halacha. No. It's one yavam, the halacha is like this. If it's two yavam, means it's the halacha like this. If you did ma'amar, the halacha is like this. If you didn't do ma'amar, no. There's a blanket rule. That's it. And that's what Rabbi Akiva said. So says the Gemara, what is the halacha? So Tanya Ayin Hamud Aleph on the top. Tanya Kavated Rabbi Yami, he says we learned in accordance to Rabbi Yami. Diktanim is we learned in a Braita. Ben Sha'asaba Ma'amar or Ben Shlo Saba Ma'amar. Whether a person did the Ma'amar or did not do a Ma'amar, right? You see from here that in both cases, right, and that's what we're saying. We see from here that Rabbi Akiva heard from Rabbi Eliezer that he's making differentiation, right? And only when he did a Ma'amar are you going to say that you could do a Farad Nedarim. You could learn it from the Reisha. Once she went into his possession, so now she's completely in his reshut. If she did not do any type of kiddushin, what does it mean nigmeralo? What does it mean nigmeralo? So tifshat mineh, we want to come and we're going to bring a proof. Obviously, did do a mamar. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. So if you're going to tell me then that you did a mamar, so what does it mean like everything else? So too like nedarim, right? Diktani that we learned. So Rava says, this is what he say. What happens right now that you have this girl, that she's a shomeret yavam, and the person came and he did a ma'amar. One of the brothers did a ma'amar. The yavam, he did a ma'amar. Now, are you going to tell me that she's going to be na'ara me'orasa? Which means that they would get stoned and everything because she's considered an engaged woman or not? Some Ravashi says, Matniti nami daika, you could also deduce from the Mishnah, en yevama gemura leisha, keshem sha'asura gemura leisha. That it's not the same thing. Meaning that the shomeret yavam is not the same thing like a regular arusa to the woman, to the husband. An arusa to the husband is unbreakable. You cannot break it. The shomeret yavam to the yavam is not the same thing. There's a zikah, there's a detachment. But it's not the same power. And the fact that it's not the same power, that's what we're saying here, it's not the same halachot.